Hey guys, what's going on? We are back on Madden 20, something of a different video for you today here on this Monday before Thanksgiving. We are going to be, as you can tell from the title, trying to win a Super Bowl with 3 awesome automated draft classes. And the way that we're going to do that is we are going to set up our draft board exactly the way we want it and simulate the draft. So I won't actually be manually selecting players myself. The computer is going to take it based on my draft board. We're basically testing out how the draft board works here in Madden 20. And theoretically, it should pick, if I had the first overall pick, what is number 1 on my board. Every single time my pick comes up, that is the pick that should be happening, whoever is up there on my draft board. So we're going to test out that theory. We're going to see if we get some awesome draft classes. Let's get into this thing. We are using the Detroit Lions for this, and as you can see, this is my very first draft board. We are going to look for a quarterback to replace Matt Stafford. We need some corners to maybe replace Darius Slay in the future, of course. And then I'm really looking to improve the defensive side of the ball right now, with Kerryon Johnson being a main thing here at running back, and Hawkinson at tight end, and Gappy Galladay's at wide receiver. Let's see how we did in the first draft class. And Zach Wood is taken with the 3rd overall pick for the Lions. Of course, I make trades and get rid of players who are in expiring contracts who we're not going to keep, so that we can end up with more draft picks. And that's how this draft class ends up really well. But you can see really how good of a draft class this is. 75 overall hidden development for Zach Wood, so we'll see what he ends up becoming. It's going to be very interesting to see what he ends up to do, but he is 89 throw power, 87 short accuracy, 85 medium, 81 deep, with 78 awareness. He could really develop into a fantastic quarterback for us. At corner, we select Otis Johnson. This is the guy that could replace Slay in the future. He's at a pit just like Darrelle Revis, so we're hoping he can play like Darrelle Revis. Unfortunately, his man coverage is not a Darrelle Revis number, but he's very good at zone. He's more of a zone guy. He's quick enough, but not the fastest, but still a very solid player. Brian Quinn could be one of the cornerstones of this offensive line here at right guard. He's only a normal development, but a 76 overall and a young player, and there's just nothing really bad about him. I don't know why his morale is making him lose a point everywhere. He's just been drafted. I mean, why be pissed off? Dave Edison at left outside linebacker. We get him with the 28th pick. He's only a normal development, but 86 speed, so maybe he can fly around, make some plays, and get that development up. Who knows? It's definitely a possibility here in Madden 20, as most of you know. Bruce Boone at right outside linebacker. Definitely looking to upgrade the linebacking core on defense, and Bruce Boone, a 73 overall. He's got 83 speed, he's got 80 strength, 81 power moves, definitely more of a rushing outside linebacker. And hey, maybe he helps along the defense. Maybe we eventually move him to end. Who knows what ends up happening there. At center, we get Quentin Peck, another guy that could really help us out. 71 hidden development. A lot of green on that player card. You gotta love that, as he doesn't have a ton to improve upon. Just gotta continue to improve on what he's already pretty good at. William Brazil out of Georgia ends up coming in. He's a 71 normal. Really a developmental type of defensive end, but he was a late first-round talent in the 3rd round. And then also in the 3rd round, maybe a mid-first-round talent here, it's Russell Bynes, who we end up taking. 74 overall. Look at the strength, 89 strength. He's got good power moves, good play rec, good tackle, good acceleration. He's got a swim move, a spin move, a high motor. That's definitely a guy who can probably develop into a pretty solid player. So good draft class for us. As far as looking at the draft class as a whole, Dwayne Anderson goes number 1 overall. He would have been the hidden development corner there, 76 overall. This is the guy I really wanted. Dakota McLean was number 1 on the draft board, a 78 overall hidden developer. Would have been great, but we end up with Zach Wood, the 2nd quarterback taken. DeMarcus Pittman was on my board. He is a hidden developing receiver for the New York Jets right now. Will Donnell was also on the board, 76 overall for the New York Giants. Hennings, he was also there, 76 overall, right end for the Buccaneers. Foreman, not a great pick there, and as you can see, as we get to Otis Johnson, he either ties or beats all the players who came off the board between our pick and the next one. Quinn far exceeds the overall of everyone before him. So does Dave Edison, as we ended up picking up the best players we possibly could. Boone again, Peck again. There's a lot of 60s coming off the board, and then we're taking 70s, so it's a success as far as I'm concerned. The Steelers get in there and get a 70 overall, so do the Colts. But we get the 71 overall, so again, Brazil is going to exceed everyone who came before him as well. There's a couple 70s off the board, but Russell Bynes is a 74. So as you can see, draft class number 1 is an excellent draft class for our Detroit Lions, and as you can see, as we're going through the 4th and 5th and 6th rounds, there is absolutely nothing worth picking here. It's a lot of developmental players and a lot of guys that would have to start to get better, especially in Madden Sim, which of course we're not going to be doing because we have players in positions right now. We're looking to replace players and kind of replenish, and by the end there will be most of our draft classes. But here you can see at the end of the first year with this draft class, we go 6-10. So let's take a look at what they were able to do. Zach Wood in his rookie year, 24 touchdowns, 10 picks, 3,800 yards, and a 68% completion percentage. Not bad at all. He was over 100 quarterback rating. Kerryon Johnson, 937 and 11 TDs. No 1,000-yard receivers, but a nice spread by Zach Wood. You got to like what he was able to do there. And you can see here, Zach's given up. I mean, we gave up more than we would have wanted to. Reeves Maben and Jelani Taivai were really getting it done today on this season on tackling. 7.5 sacks is our leader. Not a lot of interceptions from the defense. Only one forced fumble, and it was recovered by Jared Davis. Zach Wood wins the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Otis Johnson is the Defensive Rookie of the Year. You can see Bruce Boone was on there, William Brazil, and Russell Bynes as well. So we definitely had a lot of candidates. Kerryon Johnson was on the halfback list, and I don't think we're going to get anything else here. So moving into the second draft class, this is the draft board in full order of who I would like to grab. Of course, we're going to have multiple first-round picks again because that's just how I do. This video isn't ultra-realistic anyways, so as we're trying to win a Super Bowl with 3 draft classes. So we'll see what we're able to do this year. You can see there are some steals here at the bottom of the draft that I have ordered in. We'll see if some of our later picks end up getting us somebody like that, but Garrison Snow is really the guy I want here at corner. Looking to pair him up with Otis Johnson and see if we can get a really nice secondary by bringing in Kevin Baker as well. If we can pair up those 3 guys out in the secondary, ooh, we could really stop a lot of teams. And that's what we're looking to do in this age of passing. Trey Wilds would be a big guy to select as well at left tackle, help to build that offensive line. Hudson Buckner is another guy I would love to grab, but I don't know if it's going to be possible. I think we're more or less probably going to end up with Reed Lay here. Deshaun Cotton is another guy that I would be thrilled to grab. There are other guys on this board that can clearly help us out, especially a right guard in Daniel Alexander, but let's see who we end up with out of this draft. Second draft class, something could tell me it could be pretty pivotal, because I don't know that the third draft class is really going to help us out all that much, just because as we try to win the Super Bowl in that third season, most of them are just going to be rookies. But that doesn't mean that rookies can't have an impact. But we will see here, this second draft class could be pivotal. It could be super important. Garrison Snow, we do get him with the number 1 overall pick. Ha 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 ha. Of course we were going to get him. 78 overall player. And looking at him, hidden development, only 21 years old, coming out of Buffalo. Khalil Mack at a different position. Gotta love it. as Buffalo gets the #1 overall pick into the NFL. Kevin Baker, we also end up with a 77 overall, 93 speed, strong safety. Absolutely fantastic player right there. Trey Wild, 77 overall, hidden development as well at left tackle. Exactly the kind of left tackle you need. Look at the pass blocking on this man. He's got great awareness as well. So, big stuff. Reed Lay is another guy we end up with, only 21 years old, a 79 hidden development, and he is already going to make an impact. 80 speed, 86 acceleration and stuff. Sean Lusk. This is a guy who is not going to challenge our #1 halfback ever, but he is going to be a hell of a complimentary player. Shaquille Bost is another guy we pick up here at left guard, and that is really going to help build the O-line. You can see we've picked up a lot of O-line. We've gone with some trench players here with Vaughn Smith now, and with our defensive end in Reed Lay. We also pick up Cassidy Overstreet, who is a hidden development left end as well. So, definitely some guys who can make an impact, do some things. David Spencer is the last guy that I had on my board, I believe, a 74 overall right tackle, and he will slot in right away as well. Now, I didn't put these guys on my board, I don't think. I might have put Graham Ferrara on there, and I might have put Brothers on there, but I did not put the rest of the guys on the board. These are the later round picks: Dudley, Malone, Seymour, and Cooks. Those are not guys that I put on my board, but we had extra picks, I guess, and that is what they went with. So let's go ahead, look at the NFL, see what ended up happening here. We get Snow. He was one of the best players in the entire draft class. I would have loved to have Hudson Buckner, but the Redskins valued him at the 2nd overall pick, and they're really not wrong there. Chauncey Hutchins was another corner I was looking at, but I got the one that I wanted in Snow. Khalil would have been a decent receiver, would not have been worth the 4th overall pick, in my opinion, but he looks like a solid player. Daniel Alexander, a very solid player, 78 overall, hidden development right guard, but I would rather have Baker in that situation. We also get Wilds, we also get Lay. So then Bullards and Roach come off, then Cotton comes off. I would have loved to have Deshaun Cotton. I think he could have been huge for us, but we weren't able to pick him up. He was a 76. There's Lusk, a 74. We get a 77 in Boss, which is better than anything anyone got in front of him. There is a 74 on the board there. We did not have a pick to be able to take him, but we do get 72 in Vaughn Smith, obviously, there in the 2nd round. You can see everyone after him, not as good. There is a 76 here, however. Dalvin Rayford. How did we miss this guy? We could have already had an elite secondary with 2 corners and 2 safeties, but we missed him. We get Spencer instead, which isn't a bad pick at all. And you can see not a ton of other things that are going to be worth really clamoring over and really crying over that you did not pick them up. Let's be honest. A lot of 60s here. Do we even see any 70s in the 5th round? Ooh, there is one. A 71 was there. The Ravens ended up with a 71 as well, a 70 for the Packers. There are some decent-ish players here late in the draft, but these are the ones that Madden really hides from you. And honestly, nothing I really had to have there. So as we take a look at the depth chart going into the 2nd draft class season here, Sean Lusk is going to be Dalvin Cook's backup, as Dalvin Cook picked up in free agency. Kenny Galladay is, of course, the lead receiver. We have Beckham, who was an undrafted free agent. He'll be in the slot this year. Hawkinson, of course, at tight end. Trey Wilds will be the left tackle starter. Shaquille Bost will be the left guard starter. Frank Ragnow is starting at center. Brian Quinn will be the right guard starter. And David Spencer will start at right tackle. Joey Bosa, of course, was picked up here at left end. Couldn't let him go by. Trey Flowers is playing right end, but Reed Lay is going to get a lot of playing time. Don't think that he won't. because we're definitely going to use him in some rushing situations, maybe even at D tackle for a little bit. Or we might use Bosa at D tackle. We don't know, but we have a lot of fresh legs we can move around. That's how the Giants won the Super Bowl. That's how I intend to help these Lions win the Super Bowl. Now, Dave Edison, he will start at left outside linebacker. And he has got to show some improvement. Reed Lay will also have some plays at outside linebacker, as he's a 79 out there. It's a lot better than I thought he would be. Jelani Tavai moves to the middle, as he's the best linebacker that we have on roster. Bruce Boone will start at right outside linebacker. So as you can see, had to move some things around here with the linebacking core. It's not where we want it to be yet, but look at this corner core. Slay leaves us. We have Justin Coleman at the 1, but he is going to play slot corner. We're going to put him in the slot. We want both of our drafted corners in the 2 starting positions, and Kevin Baker starting at strong safety. We've got Sherry, the year 2 punter, and we go 9-7, and we win the division at 9-7. So we definitely have to take a look and see how that came about, as we will look at the team schedule here. Went 2-2 in the preseason with a 40-0 win. Look at that. Seahawks, we beat them by 10. We beat the Vikings by 20. We lose by 14 to the Bears. Lose to the Cardinals by a field goal. Bucks by a field goal. Lost 3 in a row there. Then we win 2 in a row before getting killed by the Ravens. Then we win 3 in a row, including a game against the Packers and a game against the Bears. We get blown out 35-0 and 35-7 in San Francisco and Cleveland, but we beat the Vikings and Packers in 2 of our last 3 games as we sweep the Packers. How often does that happen, Lions fans? If there's any Lions fans watching, how often do y'all sweep the Packers? Well, it happened here in this video, and it helped us and propelled us to a division title. How often does that happen? So Zach Woods, he had 3,400 yards, 27 touchdowns, and only 9 interceptions with a quarterback rating of 103.7. Dalvin Cook definitely helped out, 1,300 yards, 11 TDs. You can see Lusk, he added 2 TDs on the ground, and you can see Lusk there, he added 2 TDs receiving as well. So Lusk really doing some stuff. Hawkinson, Beckham, and Galladay, of course, the lead guys in the receiving game. The sacks, we didn't give up a lot of them. Brian Quinn did a really nice job in his rookie season. Jelani Tavai had a huge year with 123 tackles and 4 sacks. That's absolutely huge for us. Trey Flowers had 9 sacks. Joey Bosa had 14.5 sacks. So you know this team was getting after the quarterback. And again, that is how I intended to help them out. So here at interceptions, you can see Baker, McCourty, Otis Johnson, Coleman. These guys were getting the job done. Forced fumbles, 3 by Will Harris. 2 of them were recovered by him. That's absolutely big. You can see there was a safety and a block here. Walter Walden, a rookie left outside linebacker. Must have been an undrafted rookie, because we definitely didn't draft him. Will Lutz goes 9 of 13 kicking, and you can see Dustin Sherry's punting stats. Not too bad. Lusk was also a kick returner, and he did a pretty darn good job at it, to be honest. No touchdowns, but he had some good averages. As we take a look, Jelani Tavai, 4th on the Defensive Player of the Year list. Lusk loses Offensive Rookie of the Year just barely. Tyson Seymour was on there as well. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Buckner, who I really wanted, but we had 4 candidates, and I can't be mad at that. Best running back, Cook, was 4th on the list. D-line, Joey Bosa to 3rd, so must have been some big sack totals. Tavai loses linebacker to Khalil Mack. No huge surprise there, and we go into the wild card matchup at home against the Atlanta Falcons, and we're off to a 10-0 lead after the first quarter. Falcons get a touchdown, and we get one back to make it a 10-point game here at the half. Now we go into the third quarter, and the Falcons are going to score a field goal, make it a 7-point game, but we get another touchdown, and now we have a 2 TD lead into the fourth quarter. The Falcons score a TD, they make it a close one, but the Lions, we are going to get a touchdown, and Matt Patricia has given the Lions their first playoff victory in quite a while, as Zach Wood, 17 of 22 for 217 yards, 2 TDs. Great game for Dalvin Cook, 172 yards and 2 scores. Absolutely big. Hawkinson, 71 yards here. Lusk had 56 yards as that receiving running back with the hidden development trait. Gotta love what he was able to bring to the table. As it's all about mixing the role players with the stars and seeing what you can bring out. So here, Trey Flowers with a sack. He was the only one to get a sack for us. No interceptions for anyone. A forced fumble for Damontae Kazee. It was not recovered by the Falcons, however. So now we go to Carolina in the divisional round of the playoffs. We're down 7-6, 2 field goals in the first quarter. So now coming out into the second quarter, we take a 9-7 lead, but Carolina will score a touchdown. And that's how we go into the tunnel at the half, down 5 points. Coming out of the half, third quarter goes by, Carolina gets a TD at the end of it, and they're up by 12. Lions get a touchdown there. Carolina gets a field goal, and we get a touchdown and a 2-point. We're going to overtime. Absolutely clutch. So we get the first possession in overtime. It's going to be Dalvin Cook. He is going to run the ball. He picks up 8 yards here. He's got 76 and a TD on the day. 2nd and 2. Cook trying to pick it up. He will get stopped short of the marker. So now 3rd and 1. They give it to Cook again. And another first. That's a first down for Dalvin Cook on 3 straight carries. So now 1st and 10. It's going to be a play fake. Opening up the passing lane. He throws it over to TJ Hawkinson for the first down. So now Wood, another play fake, trying to get the Panthers to bite. He has all day, throws it to Hawkinson on the left sideline with the toe tap grab. So now here's Wood. He's going to actually hand this one off to Dalvin Cook, who is stopped for a loss of 1. So now Wood on 2nd and 11, trying for the screen. That is a poorly run screen. It'll bring up 3rd and 11 for Wood. He throws this one. What a catch! What a catch by Lusk. So now 1st and 10. Here's the run for Dalvin Cook. He'll pick up 2. 2nd and 8. Wood. He's going to throw, going for it all, and that's overthrown out of the back left corner of the end zone. So now on 3rd and 8. This one is needed here. It's a throw. Touchdown, Lions, and they've won again. Another playoff win for the Detroit Lions, and Zach Wood has been absolutely incredible here, as well as, of course, Dalvin Cook. But what a shocking comeback by the Detroit Lions, down 12 going into the 4th quarter. They give Cam Newton the better passer rating here, but I don't see it. He had less yards, less completion percentage. I really don't understand why Zach Wood had a worse quarterback rating, but whatever. Christian McCaffrey, 99 and a touchdown. Cook, 81 and a touchdown. Lusk adds 41. And then Hawkinson just had a big game. 10 catches for 105 yards. Absolutely huge. Keon Beckham catches the game-winning TD. Lusk adds 61 total yards between rushing and receiving. And you can see here on the defense, Panthers had to do a lot of work, a lot of tackling. We didn't get any sacks, we didn't get any picks, and Kuechly forced a fumble, but they didn't recover it. So now, the NFC Championship game, and we're down 7-3 in Jerry's world. 7-3 Cowboy lead, now a 14-3. Now it's 14-6, looking eerily similar to the Panthers, but it's already 21-6, and we don't have a 21-9 as we go into the half. So 21-6 here in the 3rd quarter, and nobody scores in the 3rd quarter. That's a little surprising. We get a field goal to start the 4th, but Dallas will get a TD and another TD, and it's a 35-16 win for Jason Garrett and the Cowboys, as Dak Prescott, the $40 million man, with 3 TDs, 222 yards. Zeke Elliott with 122 yards and a touchdown. Michael Gallup with 81 receiving. Zeke Elliott also had a lot receiving and a touchdown. So Zeke Elliott really the MVP here in the NFC title game. Just something we really couldn't compete with, unfortunately. And Dallas was a 13-3 team in this season. So they end up losing the Super Bowl, however, to the Cleveland Browns. And now, here is a look at the draft board. the final draft class that we will be able to bring in here in this experimental video, as there are some really good players here. James Minich, love the combine, early first rounder. Look at the finesse moves, the block shedding, gotta love it. Jabari Finley, we need a second option to Kenny Golladay. I think he's going to be it. Connor Hambrick, another good corner. I want to bring somebody in. We have to replace Coleman. He has regressed. Justin Blades, I really want to bring in more linebacking. I don't think our linebacking is as good as I want it to be, really. But our secondary is good, but we need to replace Devin McCourty, who has retired. And we got to bring in a free safety. So Dial, while a very good player, isn't somebody I'm looking to bring in, but we might get somebody in this area because of the picks that we have. I don't know what we're going to end up getting. Scotty Hayden, I have him way high on my list, and I think we're going to be ending up getting him, but let's see who we do end up with as we simulate yet another draft here. And this is a key one, as these rookies are going to be the ones that, if they are starting, are going to have to make an impact if we're going to get back to the postseason, get back to the NFC Championship, and this time win the NFC Championship and eventually the Super Bowl. So let's see if that's something that can happen. But we're going to look at our draft recap here, our 2022 rookies, and James Minich ends up with us. Obviously, I got the first 2 overall picks, so my first 2 guys were coming. I knew that the whole time. You guys didn't. But you can see another very good draft class. Reynolds, not really as good of a guy as I thought he was going to be, but he is at least a Giggity. And, you know, Giggity could help us out. I think I mostly got everybody that I put on my board. I don't think that they picked anybody extra. They might have picked a couple guys extra. But James Minich, very good player, but only a normal dev. Same with Jabari Finley, a really nice player, but only normal dev. So I really wish we had some dev here. Cassidy Murray, another pretty okay player here. He's going to have to start at free safety, I think, but a normal. Perry Davis, very good player and a high value, but only a normal. Wendell Bonner, pretty good player, decent enough value, but only a normal. Scotty Hayden is a hidden developer, so gotta love that, as we do pick up a key outside linebacker cog. And then we pick up Michael Horn, this guy, normal developer. We move on to Rashard Miles. He is a normal developer. I mean, guys that we put on the board here as steals, we just didn't really get. These 2 guys at the bottom, Marciano and that quarterback, those are not guys that I had on my board at all. So yeah, we did get 2 extras. But looking, Minich, Finley, very good players. I probably could have ended up with Timothy Phillip at the number 1 overall pick instead, and probably should have, as he is the hidden dev guy. Hambrick would have been a really nice pickup, probably the best player we've seen come out in the entire video. Justin Blades would have been a nice pickup. I mean, he's only a 74 overall, but he would have been a hidden dev middle linebacker. Probably would have been right there with Tavai the entire time. Parrish Lewis would have been a guy to pick up. He would have been the hidden dev wide receiver. So really, if I would have went with Lewis and Phillip, I probably would have had the hidden dev guys, but it's not going to matter all that much. What is going to matter is the guys that we put in place, even if they're normal development, have to play well. That's the only thing. It doesn't matter how they develop, because we're not going beyond this season. So because of that, everything rides on this year and how they play this year. And we'll see if it's something that can end up getting us where we need to go. As you can see, the bottom half of these drafts really just never provide anything. So I don't really like to go with anything under a 3rd round pick in a video like this. Now, in my realistic franchise series with the Washington Redskins, which you guys should check out, I will put a playlist link in the cards above if you guys want to check out the Washington Redskins franchise. That is a more realistic franchise. I do not take, 6-round projected talents in the 3rd round, but in a video like this, I would. Sean Lusk has upgraded himself to Superstar X Factor, which is incredible. And he's just a backup running back. So that is absolutely huge for us. As you can see, our line looking pretty good and very young. Everybody in the high 70s. to low 80s. And you can see Reed Lay, he's only a star development, but I think he can really have some kind of an impact if we put him out there on the field in certain situations. Dave Edison, not really improving like I want to see, so I think we're going to move Scotty Hayden over there and start him instead. Garrison Snow has moved up to he's a superstar F factor. Otis Johnson is a star. So we did get a superstar X factor there, and then Lusk moves up to a superstar X factor. Kevin Baker is a superstar X factor. So yes, the secondary is strong, but we only go 4-11. 4-11-1. So why did this happen? Let's take a look at the schedule. We had a 3-1 preseason, so we were well on our way, but we lose a close one, lose another close one to divisional rivals. Then we beat the Redskins, lose another close one. Look at our record in close games. It's horrible. There's another loss on a close one. We tie the Jets. You know you're not making the playoffs when you tie the Jets. We got killed by the Bears and Pats, and we lost our last 5 games, and most of them were close. Our record in close games, Lions fans, if you're watching this video, just check it out. Just check out our record in close games. Pause the video. Let me know in the comments section below, because it was terrible. A 1,400-yard season and 24 touchdowns for Dalvin Cook. Kenny Golladay still doesn't reach 1,000 yards in this video. Sean Lusk, I put him in the slot as slot receiver. He had 617 yards, 3 TDs. Sack-wise, we didn't really give up a ton of them. As a matter of fact, Quinn gave up none all year. Darius Reynolds was an undrafted rookie, and he had 115 tackles. 9.5 sacks for Bosa is a little bit disappointing in my opinion. Minich, Reynolds, the guy who really didn't do shit was Trey Flowers. Where the heck was he? 5.5 sacks, that's all he was able to muster. 1 fumble is all we forced all year, and it was Otis Johnson. It wasn't recovered, so not a great defensive season for us, despite having a lot of X factors. Well, at least 2 X factors. Well, 3 because of Bosa. I mean, we had some X factors out there. Cook, 4th in MVP voting on a 4-11-1 team. Wins Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, the man had 24 TDs and 1,400 yards. Finley, 5th in Offensive Rookie of the Year. Look at Defensive Rookie of the Year. 5 guys of the top 6 on Defensive Rookie of the Year. Dalvin Cook, of course, going to win Best Running Back. Bosa, 6th for Best D Lineman. Nobody for linebacker. Nobody for corner. And Lutz, 7th in kicker. Not great. So we were 7th in the NFL in offense, and we were 32nd in defense. So yes, indeed, it was the defense that failed us in this final season of the video. Guys, if you did enjoy this and you would like to see this done again with a different team, let me know what team you want to see it done with in the comments section below. Let me know how you like this idea, this experiment. If you've seen it before on YouTube, let me know. Link me the video. I would like to watch it and see how someone else has done this, because I don't think I've seen this done before on YouTube, where you set the draft board and let the computer draft for you, and the computer pretty much did a decent enough job. We had the picks, the draft board was set, and the computer ended up taking some big players from us, but I think we ended up with a really nice drafted team here after 3 classes. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and want more of this Madden 20 content. Take care, guys.
You're a pretty little star boy.